excited because we are starting a brand new series this weekend, and it's all about learning how to live like Jesus and follow him.
Now, guys, this is a huge deal. Like, huge. It's what it's all about. It's what we live. It's what we breathe. And living like Jesus is what we talk about all the time in JW Kids.
Now, you don't have to take our word for it. Living like Jesus is something that the Bible talks about over and over again. So, before we get started with our lesson, we're going to take a look at our scripture verse this month.
All right, guys, we're coming at you from 1 Corinthians 11:1, and it says this: "Follow my example as I followed the example of Jesus." Now, that was a whopping 10 words, and I bet you already have it in your brains, already memorized, but we want to make this a little bit more challenging. So what I need from you guys, kids, grown-ups, and whoever else is watching, I need you to stand to your feet. And what we're going to do is we're going to say the scripture verse and floss at the same time.
Did you say floss?
I did. I just said floss. Not
All right,
like
here we
the
go.
teeth flossing, but the dance flossing. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Even if you don't know how to do it, your kids will teach you, or you can just follow my example. Ready for this, Erica?
I'm ready.
All right, guys. Here we go.
Follow my example as I follow the example of Jesus.
Woohoo! That was good. That was challenging for me. Challenging for you, Miss Erica?
Yeah, totally tested my coordination.
Oh, yeah. Now, guys, get this. Sometimes it's really easy to follow Jesus and to live like him. But on the other hand, there are times when it gets pretty difficult. But no matter what, we want to continue learning to live like Jesus.
And that is exactly what our Bible story is about this month. For the next couple of weeks, we are going to be looking at 3 guys and seeing how each one of them learned to live like Jesus in different ways, even though it wasn't always easy.
I don't know. But before we get into our story today, we got to tell you what's going on, because there's a lot.
All right, guys, so our story starts in the book of the Bible called
Philemon.
It's Philemon.
That's what I said, Philemon.
So Philemon is a book of the Bible that's found in the New Testament. And guys, it's one of the shortest books in the Bible. And by short, I mean 1 chapter. 1 chapter, 25 verses, that's it.
Zip.
And this book is actually a letter that was written by Paul when he was under house arrest in Rome.
Now, guys, get this. This is the same Paul that we were talking about last week who wrote to the Galatians. But now this Paul, he's in house arrest.
Right? Right, but before we get to Paul, we got to back up the story from the beginning, and we got to start with a guy named...
One S Mouse. Miss Erica, are you going nuts? Because some of these names do not make sense.
It's
One S Mouse.
Onesimus. So
That
Onesimus...
makes sense. You're so clever.
Onesimus was a slave, and he worked for a wealthy guy named Philemon.
Philemon.
There he is, Philemon. So one day, Onesimus stole something from Philemon and ran away to Rome, where he met none other than Paul. But guys, get this. Paul was really good friends with Philemon.
Wait, so you're telling me the guy that stole from Philemon is friends with Paul? And Paul is friends with Philemon?
That's right. In fact, Paul was the one who taught Philemon all about Jesus. But here's the thing. Not only did he teach Philemon about Jesus, but when Onesimus met Paul in Rome, Paul taught Onesimus all about Jesus.
Wow, that's
And
pretty cool.
Onesimus eventually learned to love and follow Jesus. And he wanted to help Paul teach others about Jesus. But Paul knew that before Onesimus could do that, before he could serve and help God, he needed to go back to Philemon and make things right with him. He needed to ask for forgiveness.
Oh, man, that is not going to be easy. let me tell
Right?
you that.
Not easy at all. And so Paul wrote a letter for Onesimus to bring to Philemon, and that's what this book is all about. So let's take a look and see what Paul has to say to Philemon.
So how am I going to write this letter, Jesus? I mean, I know it's not going to be easy. It's because both Philemon and Onesimus are really good friends of mine. But Onesimus, wow, he has changed so much. But I know that his business with Philemon isn't finished. That Onesimus needs to ask for forgiveness, and I know that Philemon is still angry with him. It's because he was his master, and then Onesimus stole from him, and then he ran from him. So how am I going to write this? Jesus, I just want Philemon to do what is right. It would just be so easy for me just to write this letter and then just to tell Philemon just to accept Onesimus back. But I know that if I am going to lead, that I need to lead like you, Jesus. Help me know that the right words to say to Philemon. So Philemon, I come to you as a close friend, and I'm writing to you about Onesimus, and I'm letting you know that I'm sending him back to you. And although he's been so helpful to me here, serving and telling people all about Jesus, that I wanted to send him back to you so that you can forgive him and welcome him back in love. But that's not all. That when you do welcome him back, that you shouldn't treat him as your slave anymore, but as a fellow brother and friend in Jesus. Welcome him back as you would welcome me. And whatever Onesimus has done wrong to you, I will pay back personally myself. And I will say nothing about what you owe me. And I know that you will do the right thing, Philemon. And I hope to see you soon. Well, Jesus, I know this letter won't be easy for my friend Philemon to read, but I trust you, and I trust that you help him to do the right thing. Help me to be a good friend to Philemon, and help me to keep on encouraging him to do the right thing and to live like you.
Wow, guys, we've learned a lot about Paul and how his heart is to live like Jesus. So we want to know how that relates to us and how we can learn to live like Jesus too. And so to do that, we are going to play a fun crossword puzzle game to live like Jesus. Now what we're going to do is we're going to ask you guys a question. You're going to think about the answer. You'll have 5 seconds. And then we will fill in the blanks.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's start with our first question. Our first question is 1 down, and it says this. When your friend is making bad choices, you can lead like Jesus by encouraging them to make blank choices. All right, guys, what's your guess? You got 5 seconds. Good. All right, if you guys guessed good, you got it right. And you know, that's exactly what Paul did in our story. He encouraged his friends, Philemon and Onesimus, to do the right thing. And guys, we can do that too.
Oh yeah. All right, guys, question number 2. 2 down. Finish the song. What can I say except you're...
Whoa. What does this have to do with our lesson?
I like the movie and this song. That'd be fun.
All right, we'll go with it.
5 seconds. What do you think? You're welcome! Nice job. If you guys can name that movie, bonus points.
Moana. All right, next question. Next question is 4 down. All right, here we go. When you don't know what else to do for someone, you can always blink. All right, guys, what's your answer? You got 5 seconds.
It is pray. If you guys guessed pray, nicely done. Now, I bet you Paul prayed all the time for Onesimus and for Philemon so that they would go out and do the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, here is our next question. 6 down. What is brown and sticky?
Again? Really?
I like this one.
Oh,
fun.
brother. All
Got
right.
5 seconds. A stick. What's brown and sticky? A stick.
That's horrible. That's horrible. All right, okay,
No,
last question, guys. Here we go. Last one. 7 across. You can't serve God when you're blank. All right, what's your answer? You got 5 seconds. agree. You are correct. We can't serve God if we have anger in our hearts. And guys, that is exactly what Paul knew. Paul knew that Philemon couldn't serve God if he was angry at Onesimus. That's why he knew it was so important for Philemon to forgive Onesimus. Now, guys, if that was important for Philemon, it's important for us too. It's one of the ways that we can live like Jesus.
And for us to live like Jesus, that brings us right into our weekly challenge. We want you guys to head on over to the JW Kids webpage. You can click on our parentable devotional. You guys can check that out and start learning how to live more like Jesus.
Guys, we are so glad you joined us today, and we can't wait to see you next week.